Chris, can you tell me something about the music? There's an intro that comes in during these videos, and then there's an exiting musical piece as well. What's that about?
Yeah, so yeah, when I wrote these, I was in my early teens, right? So in my teenage years is when I wrote all this. And the I guess you'd call it the recording setup that I had is that I went down to Radio Shack and I bought this cheap little cassette player and I would record on that and I would listen back and do that's how I would do my editing or adjustments or fine tuning of the song was to listen to it over and over and over again on my little cassette player. And I just happened to keep those cassettes. And so I actually have the original recordings of while I was writing the song from way back, from 35 years ago. And that's why the sound recordings in the beginning and the end of these videos is very poor because it was done on this little cassette player. But for me, it's very nostalgic. And hopefully, for anybody watching this, gives a little bit of sense uh, of the melody to come. But we're going to be re-recording all this with 8 or 9 musicians. And I am super excited with the progress that we've been making and the development of the album. And the sound is amazing. The original feel is there, the melody is there, the feeling is there, but it's much more robust. And I just have to show you this one thing, Mark, is that I also kept all the original music sheets from way back. And I used to put these into my guitar case as I was writing them and then just hung on to them. And so eventually, I don't know, 30 years ago, I decided, well, I guess I should put it into a book. And so I stuffed it into these little plastic sheets. So it's a nice memento, and it's kind of neat going back and kind of looking through this, and because I can see the progress, I can see the history, I can see where I was at personally in my life at that point in time, what was going on. So it's a real trip down memory lane, and so I thought it would be kind of a fun thing to share.
Can you give us an overview of the song Better Than Me?
Yeah, so like so many of the other songs or snippets of the other songs, it's trying to be motivational. And the person I was directing that towards was myself, right? I was other songs were writing about trying to understand and discover things and appreciate things, and why this and why that. This one was very specific to motivate myself that I was progressing and I was developing and to be patient and good things were coming about and changes. So yeah, it's I was really trying to kind of give myself a little bit of gas.
I've got a couple of questions about the song here, and one of them is you sing "Looking to Be So Right." What do you mean by that?
Yeah, we all have a desire to be right. And, especially when you're in a place where you feel like you're nothing but wrong. And whatever that wrong may be, what's wrong with me? It's very easy to look at yourself and say, this is what's wrong with me. It's so easy to come up with those things. And yet it's so difficult to come up with things about just what's right with me. If you ask anybody, what's wrong with you, they'll give you a list. What's right with you? They struggle, and that's really unfortunate. And I was trying to identify here that I was looking to find those things, and in that part, and it relates to other pieces of the song about discovering that.
When you sing "Looking for All Those Things That Set Me Free," what's that about?
So, you know, when am I ready to be free? Right? Is what this refers to, and the freedom of acceptance or acceptance, self acceptance of yourself is a freedom. you untangle the chains that hold you down and hold you back, and let go of those weights. And I was working towards being free. And what I was saying to myself is that when I am ready to feel free, that's where things will really start to change and where good things will occur. And all these things that I'm working towards will come to be.
And finally, you sing, and in time I will see something that's better than me.
And that's the whole thing. I'm trying to be better than myself, and then realizing that maybe the better is already there, and I'm just struggling with being able to see it. And I think that that's common nowadays, where people, or I think it's always been the case in many ways, where people struggle to see that the better is already there. You don't have to be a different person to be better. You just have to believe that it is already there. And when you are willing and free to see that in yourself, that's where things change. Not because you do things differently, not because of the world being different, but because just how you see yourself.
Chris, thanks for your time to share the song Better Than Me, which will be on the upcoming album This Is Love, Volume 1.
Thank you, Mark.